What happens when a people who have been ignored for too long finally decide to stop begging for respect and start using the power in their own hands? Welcome everyone to the Voice of the Voiceless, the channel where we speak for the people many people refuse to hear, where we tell the stories that are pushed aside, and where we talk about what is happening in Black communities and how Black people are being treated in society. If this is your first time here, you're welcome. And if you have not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe now because we are going to keep bringing you updates about everything concerning Black communities, the struggles Black people face, the unfair treatment they receive, the way their pain is ignored, and the way they are now learning to stand together. You will not want to miss what's coming on this channel because we are not just here to talk. We are here to open eyes. We're here to ask hard questions. We are here to say what many people are afraid to say. And today, the question is this. If a business can make money from Black people every day, should that business not also respect Black people every day? I want you to answer that question in the comment section because this is where the whole matter begins. Right now, many Black people are talking about boycotting some businesses in their communities. This conversation became louder after the painful case of Cyrus Carmack-Belton, a 14-year-old Black boy whose life was taken after an incident connected to a store. The verdict came and the man accused walked free. For many people in the Black community, that verdict felt like another deep wound. It felt like another reminder that when Black people cry for justice, the system does not always answer them. A mother lost her child, a family lost a son, a community lost another young Black life. And when people saw the pain, when they heard the mothers cry, when they watched the way the case ended, many of them said, enough is enough. They said, if the courts will not listen, maybe businesses will listen. They said if the system will not feel our pain, maybe the pockets of those who profit from us will feel our absence. That is how the boycott became a bigger conversation. People began to talk about nail salons, beauty supply stores, corner shops, restaurants, dry cleaners, convenience stores, and other businesses that operate in Black neighborhoods. Some people online mocked the boycott. Some said Black people could not do without these businesses. Some said, go ahead and boycott. We do not need you. Some even listed things Black people use like shoes, cars, phones, electronics, and hair products and asked how Black people could boycott anything connected to Asia. But that argument misses the main point. Most people are not talking about boycotting a whole continent. They are not talking about every single Asian person in the world. They are talking about local businesses inside Black communities that make money from Black customers but are accused of treating those same customers badly. They are talking about the places where Black people say they are followed around like thieves. They are talking about shops where Black women spend money but feel disrespected. They're talking about stores where Black children are seen as danger before they are seen as children. So this is not just about one case. For many people, this is about years of pain, years of disrespect, and years of feeling used. It is about a community asking why its money is welcomed, but its life is not valued. It is about Black people saying, you cannot love our money and disrespect our people. And that is why the issue has become so emotional. Some people are angry. Some people are tired. Some people are heartbroken. Some people want the boycott to last for a long time. Others are wanting that anger should not turn into hate. And that warning matters too. Because this movement must be careful. It must not become a reason to attack innocent people. It must not become a reason to insult a whole race. It must not become blind hate. The goal should be respect, justice, and power. The goal should be to stop supporting any business that treats Black people badly and to start supporting businesses that value Black people. That is the real message.
A young man by the name of Cyrus went into this gas station behind me wearing a backpack. Per the owner's instructions, they told him it was policy for people to leave the backpack at the front of the store. He did that. He started shopping.
His name was Cyrus Carmack-Belton. He was 14 years old. And last night, a jury in Richland County, South Carolina, found the man who shot him in the back not guilty of murder. And I want to talk about it. On May 28, 2023, Cyrus walked into a Shell gas station on Park Lane Road in Columbia. He picked up 4 bottles of water, then he put them back. He didn't steal anything, the surveillance showed it. The man who owned the store accused him of stealing anyway, and Cyrus ran. The owner and his adult son chased that boy out of the store, more than 130 yards down the street. Then the owner shot him in the back. Cyrus was just 14 years old. He bled out on the pavement outside the gas station. The trial took 5 days and the jury deliberated for 8 hours. They asked the judge to clarify the legal instruction multiple times during the deliberation. One of the prosecutors told them during the closing arguments, "This is what malice looks like. A shot to the back tells the story better than any witness ever could." Then the jury came back not guilty. I don't have anything clever to say about that.
Last Sunday, an Asian American convenience store owner in Columbia, South Carolina, Rick Chow, shot and killed 14-year-old Cyrus Carmack-Belton in the back after wrongly accusing him of stealing water. And because this bears so much resemblance to the murder of Latasha Harlins from 32 years ago, it's hard to resist the feeling that we've made no progress. I know that we have made progress. I see work being done. I see exchange being had. I see coalition being built. But it is so hard to grieve and process the unjustifiable loss of a child. And it is the criminalization of Black people and the harm that that does to children in particular that motivates so much of my work. I became activated in earnest in 2012 with the death of Trayvon Martin. At that time, I was teaching a class in Hunts Point, and the theater that my class was held in doesn't get very warm in the colder months. So that day in November, I went, and the boys in my class, who are about 10 to 13 years old, were all shivering in their t-shirts. And I asked them, "Where are your jackets and where are your hoodies?" And one of the students said to me, "My mom won't let me wear a hoodie anymore because she's afraid that I could get shot." And then 2 years later with Michael Brown, those little boys are now becoming teenagers, and just watching them question their mortality from the lens of being Black and being aware that from a young age they have been viewed as potentially dangerous and criminal, and they are not seen as the individuals and the human beings that they are.
That is choice. That is the free use of economic power. Every customer has the right to decide where their money goes. Every community has the right to say, "We are no longer funding disrespect." And that is what many Black people are saying now. They are not asking for pity. They are asking for respect. They are not asking to be worshipped. They are asking to be treated like human beings. They are not saying every person from another community is bad. They are saying that bad treatment should have consequences. And in a world where people often ignore Black pain, money may be the only language they finally understand. But at the center of all this noise, all this anger, and all this debate, we must not forget the human pain. A child is gone. A mother is grieving. A family will never be the same. A community is looking at the case and asking why things keep ending this way. Some legal voices have tried to explain how the verdict happened. They explain that murder is hard to prove because prosecutors must prove every part of the charge beyond reasonable doubt. They talked about words like malice, self-defense, and defense of others. They explained that if the jury had doubt, they could return a not guilty verdict. They also said prosecutors may have made a mistake by not giving the jury a lesser charge like manslaughter. But even when people explain the law, the pain does not disappear. A legal explanation may tell us how a verdict happened, but it does not heal a mother's heart. It does not bring a child back. It does not remove the anger from a community that feels failed again. That is why this story has touched so many people. It is not only about the law. It is about trust. It is about whether Black people can trust the system to protect their children. It is about whether Black life is treated as precious or disposable. It is about whether people only care about Black pain when it becomes viral. And this is why the response must be strong but wise. Do not attack people. Do not threaten people. Do not destroy property. Do not let anybody turn this pain into foolishness. The strongest response is discipline. The strongest response is unity. The strongest response is organized support for Black-owned businesses. The strongest response is to build what they said you cannot build. If someone says Black people cannot do without certain businesses, prove them wrong. If someone says Black people cannot run their own stores, prove them wrong. If someone says Black women will always return because they need the service, prove them wrong. If someone says the Black dollar does not matter, let the empty shops answer. But this must not be a 2-week trend. It must not be something people talk about today and forget tomorrow. It must become a habit. It must become a new way of thinking. Before you spend, ask yourself, who am I building? Before you buy, ask yourself, does this business respect my people? Before you book that service, ask yourself, is there someone in my community I can support? And if you know a black-owned business, drop it in the comment section. If you know a black nail tech, drop the name. If you know a black-owned beauty supply store, drop the name. If you know a black-owned restaurant, clothing brand, hair care brand, skincare brand, grocery store, laundry service, cleaning company, or online shop, drop it in the comments. Let the comment section become a small directory. Let people find options. Let people connect. Let people support one another. Because if we are going to talk about power, we must also practice power. And let me say this clearly again. This is not about spreading hate. This is about speaking truth. It is about saying black people should not have to beg for respect in places where their money keeps the lights on. This is about saying a community has the right to protect its dignity. This is about saying pain must not always end in silence. Cyrus deserved better. His mother deserved better. His family deserved better. The community deserves better. And if the system keeps failing people, then people will find another way to make their voices heard. So here is my final question for you, and I want you to answer it honestly in the comment section. Should this boycott be a short reaction to one painful case, or should it become a long-term movement to build black economic power and teach every business that black money must come with black respect? Thank you for watching The Voice of the Voiceless. If this video made you think, please like it, share it, subscribe to the channel, and drop your thoughts below. We're not here to spread hate. We're here to speak truth, demand respect, and remind the world that the voiceless still have a voice.
Him. Before he left, they accused him of stealing 4 water bottles. He flattened out his jacket pockets and pant pockets to show them that he did not have any water bottles. As he tried to leave, they chased him over 100 yards and fatally shot him. This is the protest.
The black community now is calling for more Asian hate because Asian store owner Rick Chow was just acquitted of murder in the shooting death of black teen 14-year-old Cyrus Carmack-Belton. After 3 years in jail and denied bail, Chow was released by a jury of his peers. So here's what actually happened. Cyrus was in the store and he picked up 4 bottles and he put them back. But Chow and his son thought that he was stealing. So they were chasing him down. And while chasing him down, Cyrus dropped his gun but also picked it back up. He pointed the gun at Chow and his son, and Chow shot back in self-defense. The gun was found on his body after he got shot, so people saying he was unarmed are lying to you. And even the prosecutors admitted that he dropped the gun but also picked it back up, and that created reasonable doubt on the charges of murder. To be charged of murder in South Carolina or anywhere, you have to be able to prove ill intent, ill will, and malice. Because Cyrus pointed the gun at Chow and his son, it created a self-defense scenario. Now, he was shot in the back. What happened then? Where it's very possible that he pointed the gun and turned around as he's pointing the gun and then got shot in the back. That is a plausible scenario. Unfortunately, we don't have the camera footage of the incident itself. We just had to rely on eyewitness testimony. But the reality is, because there was a gun involved from Cyrus, it proved reasonable doubt that this case was murder. At most, it could be seen as voluntary manslaughter, but Chow wasn't going to chase him down to kill him in cold blood. That's not what happened. A lot of black people on the internet are saying that Chow has a history of shooting people, and all the cases of him shooting someone in the past has been because they were stealing from him. They were instances of theft or assault. That's why he's never been charged, because he was exercising his right to self-defense. By the way, there were black people on the jury. Okay, so it's not some like white supremacist East Asian plot to harm black people. And the defense lawyer for Rick Chow was black, but now the black community online, they're calling him race traitor, they're calling him a sellout, all the typical insults for a black person who does not fall in line. I want to see less of these incidents too. They're ugly, they're messy, they only inflame racial tensions. But the solution is not to blame people for defending themselves and their property. The solution is to hold your own people accountable to stop this kind of behavior. If you teach your youth to stop this kind of behavior, things will get better. They won't get into these situations.
Now, let us slow down and look at this clearly. A boycott is not just noise. A boycott is a message. It is a way of saying we are no longer giving our money to people who do not respect us. It is also a way of saying we now understand that our money has power. Many black people are calling this not just a boycott but a blackout. And what does that mean? It means taking black money and putting it back into black hands. It means choosing black-owned beauty supply stores when they are available. It means finding black nail techs. It means eating at black-owned restaurants. It means buying black-owned hair products, skin products, clothes, body care, home products, food, books, and services. It means looking around your own city and asking, who in my community can I support? Because the truth is simple. If black people only stop buying and do not build anything, the anger will fade and things will return to normal. But if black people stop buying from places that disrespect them and start building their own options, then that becomes real power. That becomes change. That becomes history. This is why this moment should not just be about anger. Anger can start a movement, but only discipline can keep it alive. It is easy to shout online. It is easy to say, we're done. It is easy to post videos and comments. But the real work begins after the anger. The real work is finding black-owned businesses and supporting them. The real work is making lists of black-owned shops in every city. The real work is creating websites, pages, groups, and community maps so people know where to go. The real work is helping black businesses grow so they can serve the people well. Because let us be honest, one reason many people go back to the same stores is convenience. The store is closed, the booking is easy, the product is available, the price is clear, the service is fast. So if black businesses want the community to come, they must also be ready. They must make things easy. They must have good customer service. They must answer messages. They must be professional. They must keep their prices clear. They must respect the customers too. Supporting black businesses does not mean accepting poor service. It means building better service together. It means the business owner must respect the customer and the customer must support the business. That is how a strong community grows. This is why the boycott conversation is bigger than one group of businesses. It is really a mirror being held in front of the black community. It is asking, are we ready to support our own? It is asking, are we ready to sacrifice comfort for a bigger purpose? It is asking, are we ready to stop running back to the same people who look down on us just because it is easy? And it is also asking black business owners, are you ready for the people when they come? Because if the community is going to move its money, there must be somewhere better for that money to go. Some people in the video argued that businesses are not meant to give back to the community. They said businesses exist to make money. Yes, a business exists to make money, but respect is not charity. Fair treatment is not charity. Not following customers around like criminals is not charity. Not talking down to people who pay you is not charity. Not treating black children as threats is not charity. That is basic decency. If you build inside a community, sell to that community, and survive because of that community, then the least you can do is treat that community with dignity. And if you cannot do that, then people have the right to take their money somewhere else. That is not racism.